Good evening. We're going to start off correct today.
Thank you for watching the Whittemore Community Magazine's Hour of Power Live on Facebook with your host Edward McQueen and April Garner.
And it is time for broadcasts, whether we like it or not. Good evening. I'm your host on today's show. We have some information as usual, that is going to be inspiring today. We connected with, first of all, let me say, we want to send all of our blessings. I mean, not our blessings, but our condolences and well wishes to all of our sick and shut in who may be watching us today, and their relatives who may be watching. So. And this, we failed to do it last week, but we do want to start off with some of our jurisdictions that we usually name, and the jurisdictions that who've been listening to us, and we're worldwide. But just this close to us, our jurisdiction is. We'll start with alphabetically with Aner and. Hey, go all the way down to W. Waupee, Charleston, South Carolina, Marion, Kingstree, Greenseed, Loris, South Carolina, Faber. We haven't called that out in a long time. 9th Avenue. We haven't called that out in a long time. So. Hemingway, South Carolina, where the WEOC just had this grand information gathering there by Mr. James Paisley and his group. Ana, Greensea, Long, South Carolina, Chesterfield area out there, Myrtle Beach, South Myrtle Beach, North Myrtle Beach, Waupee, Little River, and you know what comes next is Big River. So look, we will continue on and get on with our show. But all of our listeners, if we fail to call your name, and then please give us a chat, okay, and let us know what we're doing, okay. We have, as our promotion showed, we have had as our guest the James Fraser Center's new wellness center. We thought it was really critical to really get this information out, because they've done such a fantastic job. I think they in front of the Horry County Council, I believe, they gave this presentation about what the wellness program is, and it's something that we don't talk about a lot on our program. We hit and miss at these points, but we're really going to get into it. We're going to get down to some things of our diets, our nutrition, and so forth, because it needs to be told, and it wants to be heard. Okay, so and the other thing was that we had scheduled for today was it was something that was discovered by Reverend Jerry Falk, who's been dealing with the Baptist Association out in Loris, Kingston Lake Baptist Association, and he discovered some rare information regarding the businesses during that time. This was pre-1984. Gave a list of all the businesses that were being run and operated by blacks. It's just enormous. And the reason why we thought it was critical was that if you compare that to today, you will find that we're in short supply, okay, in very short supply of our black businesses. Something that we can head on from generation to generation, and we don't know what happened. And this is like I said, in pre-1984. So hopefully he will get on with us later on, and have him, and also the personnel at James Fraser Center, directed by Miss Betty Goss, but it was conveyed by her recreation assistant, Miss Caitlin Clay. And I just want to correct that name because the information that was sent out some time ago was incorrect, which is her maiden name was Miss Caitlin Barker, but we certainly apologize for that. And while we're waiting on our guest, I wanted to congratulate. Now, listen very carefully. Congratulate the classes. Okay, let's revert to our school just for a moment. Okay, in Conway, that was Whittemore High School. We didn't want to start off with that because we had other news for you. But while we were waiting on our guest, the class of 1940, the class of 1950, class of 1960, and that class of 1970. If you give us the opportunity, I'd like to show you some things that could just give you a spread of what's going to be in our upcoming issue of the Whittemore Community Magazine. Okay, so while we prepare some things, let's go to some commercials. Okay, we got to do that. All right, we'll be right back.
Having problems with your vehicle? For quick, prompt, and courteous service, call Snag and Drag Towing. Gregory Graham will make sure that you're taken care of right away. 843-997-0751. That's Snag and Drag Towing Service at 843-997-0751. If you're looking for flowers for any occasion, the Daisy Fair Flowers is here to help you. They offer an enormous selection of flowers, gift baskets, and live plants for delivery in Conway, South Carolina. Serving Conway since 1980, the Daisy Fair Flowers, 1400 4th Avenue in Conway, or call 843-248-7222. You may also visit the web at thedaisyfairflowers.com. Looking for a full-service funeral home with a broad array of services? Look no further than McKeever Funeral Home at 1408 Race Path Avenue in Conway, South Carolina. They offer a wide variety of services, including traditional funerals, memorial services, and graveside ceremonies. You can reach them anytime, day or night, at 843-248-2706. That's 843-248-2706. McKeever Funeral Home in Conway, South Carolina. George L. Williams Jr. is CEO and licensed funeral director. Support the party that supports you. Vote for your own interests and those of your community. The choice is clear. Horry County Democratic Party. Take a stand. Register to vote 2020. This advertisement is paid for by the Horry County Democratic Party.
Yeah, we're back, and we're having some difficulty with Reverend Fox connecting there. So, but anyway, what I wanted to say while we're on the whole for our historical Black businesses, you know, a comparison. That's our objective here today, and for us to start thinking about something. Okay. On our December edition of our upcoming magazine, the Whittemore Community Magazine, is going to honor. We're going to honor 4 classes. Okay, celebrating 80, 70, 60, 50 years at Whittemore. I believe 80 years. Okay, and we got somebody. We had somebody still with us who's going to be celebrating his 80th graduation class. Okay, 80 years ago. Okay, the 1970 class was the last class to officially graduate from Whittemore. That's something special that we need to show you too. But we're going to give you a good teaser today, and we will feature some of these historic classes. So we want you to get your personal copy if you haven't gotten them by email, or you can check our website. Okay. You're not subscribed to the magazine, get your personal copy there. All right. So go to www.wcmagazine.net. Okay. And if you're not on the database, okay, www.wcmagazine.net. So what we'd like to do is start you off with a class. You ready for this? A class, 1940. It's going to give you a tidbit. Okay. There she is. In this class of 1940, we did some modification to and upgrade to add a little color to it. What was perceived as the color gown that they had. This is what we were told. They had bluish gowns and a dark blue cap. What you see here is the class of 1940. That lady in the dark, in the gown, the blue gown, is I don't want to say. So do you know? We'll let you come by, Miss Rutilla Great. I started to hold you captive and say that's who she is, but that is Miss Rutilla Great, and this is just a tidbit of what we want to show you, especially in the upcoming issue of the magazine. Okay, that's her in the blue there, and right beside her is Miss Hughes, that's Fonzie Hughes' mom, and I can't call out their names. And you also have a Mr. Henry Robinson, who was part of the Latimer Robinson Funeral Home in the back there. So that's just a teaser. Okay, that's the class of 1940. Now the class of 1950. Here we go. This is the class where we still have one of our, well, should have more than one that's still with us today, and we have her colorized. That's Ms. Leola Stevens, Ms. Leola DeWitt Stevens, and she's in her light purplish gown that you see there, and we had her colorized. Came out beautifully. Again, it's just a teaser for what's going to be coming in our magazine. That's the class of 1950. Now, class of 1960, they did not take a group picture or anything. So we've done a number of collages, for example, of showing the different classes in the W's. we'll go to we chose one for 1960. That was Miss Carolyn Johnson, Meister Johnson, for the class of 1960. And there it is. Okay, that's what it looks like. This is her class when she was graduated. I mean, she was crowned as Miss Whittemore at the top. So that's a teaser. All right, and you take a good peek at that. So the class of 1970, and guess who we chose for that one? A lot of them are still with us, thank God. You know, so the class of 1970, we chose none other than our mayor. Okay, it was the class of 1970, and this is her at the top there. And you can see there's much more color on this because of the lateness of it, the most recent of that. And this was done some time ago, but we chose that as just an arbitrary choosing. But you know, she's our mayor. That's an accomplishment. So we thought it was appropriate at the time. Okay, so stick with us, and we're going to let you know what we're going to do. We're going to add some more stuff to it, to our magazine on this issue. Okay. So again, those are just teasers, and we want to make sure that you're in tune with this, and you got the opportunity to you know, go with us on this. So again, we need to take another break right now, okay? And we'll be right back.
Do you need to complete your diploma or get your GED? Stop putting your future on hold. Contact the Horry County Adult Education Centers today. With 2 offices in Conway and Myrtle Beach, you'll be well on your way to a new career. The Conway Education Center is at 843-488-6200, or the Myrtle Beach Family Learning Center is at 843-839-5400. You can also visit the website at hcae.horrycountyschools.net. Heating unit not working? Need answers right away? Call Quick Services Heating and Air Conditioning for comfort in a hurry. Quick Services Heating and Air LLC is the right choice for you. Call Kenya and Nina Keith at 843-488-1492. Residential or commercial financing available. You can also visit their website at www.quickserviceshvac.com. That's KWIK serviceshvac.com. Quick Services Heating and Air LLC, the right choice for you. Serving Horry County for over 79 years, Palmetto Chevrolet in downtown Conway has just what you need to find new roads. Come through and browse, make your selection, and find new roads right away. Palmetto Chevrolet, 1122 4th Avenue, downtown Conway. You can also visit palmettochevrolet.com or call the service center at 843-248-4283. Palmetto Chevrolet, find new roads. Matthew and Beatrice Rue left a rich legacy of funeral home services in the capable hands of Atu and Tammy Williams. Ocean View Funeral Homes and Cremation Services, with 2 chapels serving the Horry County area. They offer full-service funeral and cremation services with no hidden fees. Call for details. The Conway Chapel is 843-248-5376. The Myrtle Beach Chapel is 843-916-8929. They offer affordable, professional, and caring full-service packages. Ocean View Funeral Homes and Cremation Services.
There, you have it. Okay, we're back live, and again we want to apologize for not being able to have our guests they're having some technical difficulties. But let me read off to you what the Healthy Lifestyle Community and Health Wellness Fair looks like. Okay, on Saturday, October 31st. This is at the James Fraser Center, by the way. They launched a new program, Healthy Lifestyle Community. This program was aimed to encourage health prevention in order for people in the community to improve their overall well-being. The vendors included, health and wellness institutions like Care Team Plus and the Department of Health Environmental Commission, DEHEC, and put it that well as Zumba by Ashley Livingston, and kudos to Ms. Livingston about that. And inflatables provided by Henry Kelly. They had some healthy food, which was provided by Tropical Smoothie on University Road in Conway. Care Team Plus and DHEC, we're going to say it, provided free services such as blood pressure screening, glucose reading, and private HIV testing. Information and pamphlets were given to the community about disease prevention, so forth. So the Healthy Lifestyle Community at James Fraser Community Center, they vow to continue providing education on health in the community. I mean, this is a long time coming. I mean, we need to dwell on this for a long time. Okay, so they're going to have, in addition to this, they're going to have a host for future health and wellness fairs and healthy cooking classes and exercise classes. I think that's fantastic. Again, Miss Caitlin I'm sorry, not Barker, but Clay. Miss Clay did a fantastic presentation at the I believe at one of the Horry County meetings, and she did a good slide presentation. We tried to get it for you. It was enormous in terms of megabytes transporting across our airways, and of course the virus is preventing us from kind of physically interacting so that we could retrieve it physically. So sending it via airwaves was probably the most appropriate way to go to comply with all of our COVID-19 restrictions. Okay, so it is, and it's big. So what we're going to do, we're going to for next time, okay, because this is important. Okay, but I did want to give you the highlight, which I just did. But this is important, so we're going to save the video for next time, and hopefully, we could go in depth about what the things that they're doing out there. Okay, so again, we will do it the next time. So getting back to our historical businesses that we had in Horry County. I think this was enormous, and we're I really apologize for not having Reverend Falk with us. He's trying to get on, and you run into those things sometime. Okay, you run into those things sometime. So, but in the meantime, at the same time, I implore everyone to get this copy. Okay, this is our new magazine. This is the November issue. It runs into a lot, and it's 34 pages on it, 32 pages. Okay, and it goes in depth to how we're dealing with everything seems to have a point on it with the COVID and what restrictions are being placed on us as a result of COVID. And we put emphasis on some of these things, like students who are still landing internships during COVID-19 crisis. And this is happening. So what it says is that it's not stopping colleges from landing internships. The searches have not been easy, but apparently they've not been impossible either. Many internships were affected by COVID. Some programs delayed their start dates. And I might add that these are at historical Black colleges, okay? And it was extracted from the Baltimore Afro, which sometimes focuses a lot on Morgan State College. And this what I'm reading here happens to be from Morgan State College. So Ms. Sienna Coulter, the director of the Center for Career Development at Morgan State University, she said that internships were affected by COVID, yes, but some group programs delayed their start dates, some switched their program to remote programs, and some chose not to offer their programs at all. On a positive note, however, as a result of COVID, students are now able to participate remotely in internships across the nation. So what the gist of it is that these HBCUs are really they're circumventing all these obstacles that have been placed as a result of the COVID-19. But they're coming out and it's a struggle, but it was important that they put an emphasis on this about the COVID, about the struggle that the students are going through. This is historical Black college here at Morgan State University. Even at the community colleges. So we wanted to point that out to let our upcoming students know that we can't let something like the virus stop us. Okay, these historical Black colleges are finding alternatives to ways to reach our young people, to let them know that they they still have them in mind, and they're going to do everything that they can in order for them to succeed and have a career at one of our HBCUs. So as we move on into our magazine, we had to cover the Fraser Center. I tell you, they were doing some things out there, and I guess that's why we wanted to have them on our broadcast again this time. The Fraser Center, they hosted a breast cancer walk and food distribution. I wish I had the graphics to show you, but again, you can see in the magazine, okay? They had a breast cancer walk in Bucksport, right down Bucksport Road. And guess what? They distributed in their food giveaway after the walk occurred. They distributed 1,092 boxes of food. Now I'm going to say that again. Okay, 1,092 boxes of food. Now their last distribution was on November 7th. Okay, but they during that same time incorporated that with the healthy lifestyle community, the health and wellness fair. Again, I read you off who all the vendors were and so forth. That was really something. So we commend our director there, Miss Betty Goss, and all of her assistants. But I would like to focus on Miss Caitlin Clay at this moment. She was very instrumental in getting the information out to us. Of course, I was taking some photos out there, and you can see those photos again in the magazine. So look, we've been questioned on the street as to I don't know if they've been reading it or not, but about the cost of subscription and we laid it out on our page 5, where I'm going to give it to you right now. The printed copy for color is $85 a year. Okay. The we send it by postage. It's going to cost much more. Okay. not much more, but $110 for the whole year. Okay, that's 12 copies. Okay, you're getting it because it's a monthly magazine. All right, the electronic copy, which majority of people are getting by email, and that's $50 per year. Have your personal copy. It goes straight to you. Okay, and if you want more information on that, just give me a call, 202-460-1390, or you can call Ms. Janelle Falk. She's our treasurer at 843-248-9390. I'll say that again, 843-248-9390. And, we also feature some of our high achievers in Conway. We've got some brilliant people, young talent in Conway and Horry County, for that matter. Just want to name a couple of them as forwarded by our staff member, Ms. Marjorie McIver. She's she's an ardent, I'd say, influencer. I'd say for young people achieving what they set out to do, or they can accomplish what they will. Put it that way. You've heard that before. So let me just give you two that she wanted to focus on. One was Dr. Anthony Dixon. He was recently named and unanimously approved as the Chief Administrative Officer for Secondary Schools by the Berkeley County Board of Education. That's in Charleston. Charleston is Berkeley County. And he assumed his new duties on November 2nd. He's previously served as the Executive Director of Academics and Innovation, and as a principal at the elementary, middle, and high school levels among his many accomplishments. Mr. Dixon was selected as Principal of the Year at the elementary, middle, and high school levels. So that's three. He was Principal of the Year at all three of these levels. Okay. So as the Chief Administrative Officer for secondary schools, Mr. Dixon, he will be doing the following: overseeing middle and high school operations, addressing middle and high school discipline and parent concerns, and lastly, supervise middle and high school principals. Not an easy task, I was told, to facilitate these things or accomplish these things, for lack of a better word. Mr. Dixon will also collaborate with other district leaders to determine attendance zone and facility needs, evaluate the district discipline management plan, provide professional development to the assistant principals and principals, and also evaluate and redesign alternative education programs. That's kudos to him. Okay, if he pulls that off, I'm sure he can do it from Horry County. So, but historically, this didn't give you an overview of and a little background about Mr. Dixon. He began his career at the Gear Up program, GEAR Up program, directly at the College of Charleston in 2000 before joining the Berkeley County School District as a teacher and St. Stephen Elementary School in 2004. Investing the past 20 years in public education. In 2006, Dixon joined the Boulder Bluff Elementary School staff as an assistant principal, and went on in 2007 to work as an assistant principal at Daniel Island School. After spending 6 years working as an administrator in Charleston County, Dixon returned to Berkeley County in 2014 as the principal of Kane Hoyt Elementary/Middle School. In 2015, he was named the first principal of Philip Simmons Middle and served as a principal of Philip Simmons Middle High School since June of 2018. So Mr. Dixon said he's excited about his new challenge and is looking forward to working alongside the strong principal leadership in Berkeley County. He said he looks forward to assuming his new position as it aligns with his career goals. He will continue to support student learning across Berkeley County and continue to transform education to better prepare students for life after high school graduation. Now, Mr. Dixon, locally, Here this is his connection, okay? Well, he's doctor. Dr. Anthony Dixon is the son of Geneva and Carlisle Dixon, right here in Horry County, right out of Conway, of the Cool Spring area in Horry County. His mother served as a special education teacher in Horry County schools, and his father served as dean of extended campus services at Horry Georgetown Technical College. Kudos to Dr. Anthony Dixon. Hey, we're looking forward to hearing great things from you, and congratulations from the Whittemore Community Magazine. Deep graduation, maximum graduations. And secondly, we had Miss Terry Daniels Little. The name sound familiar? Ms. Terry Daniels Little. She was recently promoted from the regional lead social worker to senior manager of social work services with Fresenius Kidney Care this past September 20th in 2020. In her previous position, she worked as a nephrology social worker with Fresenius Kidney Care for 8 years. She's been a licensed master social worker for 29 years. I'll say that again, a licensed master social worker for 29 years. I don't know what that entails, but it sounds strong enough that she had her work, and she had some very challenging times, which obviously she has mastered. So Ms. Lewis has worked in various social work positions, including child protective services, maternal and child health, and in hospice care, but has found her passion in improving the quality of life of those living with renal kidney failure. Okay, must see that a lot. In her position, Ms. Lewis, she manages 6 area social work managers located in South Carolina and the North Georgia regions. She's tasked to strategically drive and direct social work service provision in the Fresenius dialysis community in her catchment areas. She will drive quality improvement initiatives, activities throughout Fresenius medical care, leading social work area managers to achieve standards identified in the Centers of Medical Care and Medicaid Services, conditions of coverage, and FMC quality requirements. So Ms. Little's responsibilities include, but they're not limited to, evaluating best practices, specifically regarding social work services pertaining to clinical initiatives, research, and quality improvements. Secondly, developing ideas to create strategies for implementations, process identification, and planning. Finally, evaluating the implementation and adoption of clinical initiatives, projects, and technology systems. I guess all this means is what a master entails, man. That word really means something. So, in 1984, she was a graduate of Conway High School. She graduated in 1984. Ms. Lowell earned her bachelor's degree in sociology from Morris College in Sumter in 1988. Earned her master's degree from Temple University School of Social Administration in 1991. Kudos to Ms. Little, Ms. Daniels Little. Ms. Little, she's the daughter of the late Reverend Dr. Rufus and Katie Floyd Daniels, and granddaughter of the late Deacon Eugene and Getha Lee Floyd. She's the mother of S. Quentin Little and Caitlin Ray Little. We say kudos. The Whittemore Community Magazine extends maximum congratulations to both of these young people, and they are young. That's why we really needed to put focus on that. Okay, that's our future, and I hope if you're listening, we're looking forward to great things from both of you in your endeavors and in your fields. And I know you're going to make all of us proud. Okay, so again, kudos. Look, we want you to check out the network. Okay, that's every Friday at 4 p.m. I'm telling you, you don't want to miss those updates. But tomorrow, the network has a special, and you've seen the promotion. It's a special presentation tomorrow. The host April, will be talking with Miss Barbara Y. Barbara Y just got promoted to a very, very critical position in a position of diversity at Intel. And if those of you who don't know what Intel is whatever you're doing, looking at now in your computer, it has Intel in it. Okay, Intel makes the chips, and among other things, in the communication and software and hardware, we can call that arena. Okay, so whatever in your phone and whatever in you're looking at, you're viewing this on your computer, Intel has something to do with that. You can count on that. Okay, but anyway, tomorrow is a special time for the network. She will be talking with Ms. Barbara Y, and you really don't want to miss this information that Ms. Y has to convey, because it gives us a glimpse as to what's in, especially for young people, what's in store and how diversity is being implemented, the criticality of having a diverse workforce, and knowing that there's room for you, if you're qualified. Okay, but you have to make yourself qualified. All right, it's not just diverse for being just the word diverse. Okay, you got to make yourself qualified. So, and I'm just saying this to our young people, and she may say the same thing probably in a different way. Okay, but the struggle, I want to let you all know that the struggle still exists, and that's why they had to create diversity departments of diversity. The struggle still exists for young Black college graduates and young Black qualified applicants in positions at places like Intel. Intel is huge. Okay, it employs many thousands of people all around the world, just about. So, and there's room for you there. To our young people, there's room for you there. But the word diversity, it had to be there because of some stumbling blocks in the past, and stumbling blocks that it seems now that but you can overcome them. Okay, for lack of a better word, I'll say use stumbling blocks, but I'm saying great challenges. Okay, but anyway, she will be talking with Ms. Y tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Okay, on Facebook Live, and you can go there, and she will have a conversation with her tomorrow. So join her tomorrow, April Garner, talking with Miss Barbara Y tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Facebook Live. Okay. Now, seldom we're going to get on this issue. Maybe soon after we conquer some more. Talk about some more important issues for our community. And that issue is having a will. Okay, we had to put that in the magazine. If in our magazine, and we pinpointed a person who died, a famous person who just died of colon cancer, but he died without a will. Okay, and the reason why we put that in there, because we don't want you to die without a will. It's important. It's important for your loved ones. Okay, and it's good estate planning. So in our magazine, we mentioned that Black Panther star Chadwick Boseman died almost 2 months ago after a 4-year battle with colon cancer. He didn't have a will. Now the fate of at least part of the 43-year-old actor's estate is left up to the courts, and this may be winding out for a long time. Okay, this is not something that we will want to happen. Okay, his wife Simone Ledward, her name, has asked to be named administrator with limited authority over the estate, which has an estimated value of nearly $939,000. according to court documents. That isn't necessarily the entirety of his estate. They are assets subject to what's known as probate. The legal process of administering someone else's estate after death requires court intervention. This would have to do that if you don't have a will. Excuse me, if you don't have a will. Some accounts, such as life insurance and qualified retirement accounts like 401ks plans and individual retirement accounts, may be passed down to some of your beneficiaries without having to go through the courts. Up to $11.58 million per person can be passed on tax-free to heirs in 2020. I don't know where any of us have that kind of money, but that it's capped off there at 11.5 million. Maybe some of us will reach that one day. So it goes on to say that the actor isn't the only celebrity to die without making plans for his or her estate. The musician Prince also left behind no legal instruction for his $300 million estate. Man, when he died in 2016 at the age of 57 years old. Yet, wills and estates plannings aren't only for the wealthy. Still, many people procrastinate. They may mistakenly think they don't have a lot of assets, or what they'll have to do is automatically go to the next of kin. Well, really. Black people always thought that. Okay, to put it bluntly, we always thought that. It's gonna go to my child, your spouse, after you pass. Okay, and this probably has something to do with the economic status of most of us anyway. So we couldn't really think way ahead like that. But they may mistakenly think that they don't have a lot of assets. It doesn't matter how many assets you have, an estate plan will ensure that your medical and someone that you trust are taken care of, okay? This is a Texas-based estate planning attorney. Quote unquote, a plan can help you address potential tax liabilities. While the coronavirus pandemic has prompted more people to create wills, 62% of Americans still don't have one. It's a lot of people, man. 62% of 330 people. That's over 190 million people, okay? According to LegalZoom, so when you go to YouGov, that website, YOU and then capital GOV, it says that of those who do have a will, 27% got one because they were afraid of serious illness or death related to COVID-19, the survey found. 32% of those ages 18 to 24 created a will due to COVID. No one wants to admit their own mortality. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Says Steve Parrish, co-director of the Center for Retirement Income at the American College of Financial Services. Most people avoid thinking about it. Yeah, well, who wants to think about leaving here right away? But here's what you need to know. It says, a last will and testament spells out whom you want to give your assets to after you die. Okay? If you have minor children, it also allows you to name a guardian to care for them. In your will, you also name an executor who's tasked with making sure your wishes are followed. You can tell that person anything. You can write down anything, okay? Correlating with what you have. You can tell that person who's going to be in charge of your will. You tell anything. You can write down anything, okay? He or she who's executing the will or executing the will have to abide by that because they will sign for it, okay? In your will, you also name an executor, okay, who is tasked with making sure your wishes are followed. While there's been a bump in the creation of online wills, that's become quite popular. Experts advise going through an estate planning attorney if possible. If you opt for online will because you need an immediate option and have a very basic situation, make sure that it is a static, specific one. Sometimes they're provided by the local bar association or university. No one wants to admit his own mortality. Agree with that. It's been said. If you don't have a will, the court will end up deciding the fate of your estate. I've seen that happen a lot. We later on end this book in our magazine. You're going to it's going to spell out by Miss Joyce Williams, who deals with heirs property. We'll get to her later on. Deals with heirs property. She kind of spells out what you have to do and what to avoid. Okay, so it goes on to say here. A lot of folks say, "I don't have an estate plan," but you do. The state has one for you, said Michael Roberts, president of Ardent Trust, which has more than $7 billion in assets under management. If you have not planned and you don't have a will, there's a statutory provision for whatever state you live in. This is how your property gets distributed. A durable power of attorney. If you're sick and unable to do things with, like pay your mortgage, rent, and other bills, a durable power of attorney enables you to assign someone to make financial decisions for you. Keep that in mind, please. Okay. A healthcare provider of attorney, power of attorney. Let's say that over again. A healthcare power of attorney. This person designates someone to handle your medical decision if you become sick and can't make them for yourself, from the emergency room to ongoing hospital care, rehabilitation, and outpatient visits. Now, a living will. It doesn't say here, but we learned that is probably one of the most expensive. Not to discourage anybody, okay, but it is expensive because it really goes into detail and it has a lot of, I'd say, power of the pen, okay, for lack of a better word. So a living will, called an advance directive for medical decision in some states, is a document that lets you express your wishes for medical treatment you would or would not want to be used to keep you alive, including resuscitation, okay, and intubation. Wow. So, that's the value of a will. So look, let's do this. Let's take a little break here, and because I got a bit more to tell you. Okay, it's very important information. A bit more to tell you. All right, we'll be right back.
Do you need to complete your diploma or get your GED? Stop putting your future on hold. Contact the Horry County Adult Education Centers today. With 2 offices in Conway and Myrtle Beach, you'll be well on your way to a new career. The Conway Education Center is at 843-488-6200, or the Myrtle Beach Family Learning Center is at 843-839-5400. For all of your insurance needs, home, auto, and life, see how it feels to be on the #1 team with Tony McAfee of State Farm Insurance. Call Tony at 843-903-7800 or visit him at 3888 Renee Drive in Myrtle Beach. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Looking to start a new career? Train to work in Myrtle Beach. Classes starting soon. Free to eligible participants. Short-term, 3 weeks or less in hospitality, culinary, electrical, plumbing, and more at Horry Georgetown Technical College. There's more. Continuing education at 843-477-2020. Horry Georgetown Technical College, where there's more. Enjoy soul food the way your mama made it. You'll be surrounded by some of the best food in Horry County and affordable prices. Blue plate specials, senior plates, and more. Daily specials at Big Mike's Soul Food. Big Mike's Soul Food is located at 504 16th Avenue in Myrtle Beach. You can call your order in at 843-712-2048 or visit BigMikeSoulFood.net to find out about the latest specials. Big Mike's Soul Food the way your mama made it. Treating conditions from A to Z. Schedule an appointment today. Ask about acceptable insurance coverage at Waccamaw Primary Care, 660 Singleton Ridge Road, Conway, South Carolina. Dr. Winston D. McIver Jr., a trusted and reputable source in Horry County and beyond, has all you need for family practice and sports medicine. Call 843-234-4362 to schedule your appointment today. Waccamaw Primary Care, 660 Singleton Ridge Road, Suite A, Conway, South Carolina, 843-234-4362.
Hey, welcome back. This time is becoming valuable around here now. So, but we only got a few more minutes left. But I just want to leave you with this. This is this important article. What they all are important in the magazine, but this is one that that really it deserved. It got my attention, and it came from one of our esteemed persons right here in Horry County, and he talked about science and scripture. And let me just give you the title. The title is Utilizing Science and Scripture to Understand COVID-19. I'm just going to give you some excerpts from what he said, but just listen for a moment. It says, this is from, this was written by Dr. Covia Stanley. Okay, he's a retired physician who practiced OBGYN before going into public health, but he's now the pastor at Mount Calvary, Mount Calvary, I believe, #1 church, and off of 905, I believe. Somebody can call me and correct me if I'm wrong. But here's what he starts off in saying. It says, it is interesting to know how life has changed since February, March 2020. Everything is different in the way we live, think, express, and praise to God, love our spouses and children, influence and train our children, socialize with friends and colleagues, practice our job, and try to relax. The virus has caused us to split in the personalities and thoughts of politicians, medical professionals, business executives, clergy, and other groups. He said, I'm a retired physician who practiced OBGYN before going into public health. The latter focused on population as diseases affected them. That is epidemiology, which is the study of disease in groups of people. This COVID-19 virus is in the family of the flu and the cold virus. It has presented as the worst of all viruses in that family. Its dimensions of about 2.5 microns. Okay, I want to go into explaining what it is. Okay. Obviously, it's measurement of size. Okay, it makes it more accessible to humans, and particularly the nose and the respiratory system. Once in the system of human beings, it can wreak much havoc, beginning with the lungs. So you smokers, beware. Okay, the virus consumes and dries up the surfactant that lubricates the lungs. The lungs can look like dry rubber sponges. I think of the days when I was in obstetrical practices, how we use dexamethasone in pregnant patients whose fetuses were premature. The medication worked very well in maturing the lungs of the fetus before delivery. As I think of persons 70 years and older, losing the surfactant with no natural replacement makes it likely that respiration needs assistance with medical assistance, okay? Breathing tubes, respirators, and ultimately ventilators. The latter are just a few breaths from death. That's with the respirators. If there is no continuous medical assistance, then the virus will infect other organs and systems in the body. The state of infection with the virus has caused almost 9.3 million infections in America and 4 million worldwide. This was as of last month. It has caused over 234,000 deaths that need to be updated, obviously. And the network is going to give you an update on that this coming Friday at 4 p.m. In addition to tomorrow, which is special. 943 deaths worldwide, 43,000 deaths worldwide. Obviously, that's been updated too. It's been growing fast. Nobody or in our world of high intellect and sophisticated technology would have dreamed that we would get to this morbid state of existence. Infectious disease experts such as Dr. Anthony Fauci, who you see on TV just about every day, and many other professionals and physicians have informed and advised us to wear masks covering our noses and mouths when going outside. Social distancing at least 6 feet apart, washing your hands frequently for at least 20 seconds after touching material that may have germs on them, and that's everything, okay? And staying home or inside when not at work, medical appointments or grocery shopping. Those recommendations, along with common sense, could help reduce illnesses and deaths secondary to this virus. If appropriate medicine and precaution had begun in March and April of 2020, let's see I won't say who's responsible for that. The statistics would be much decreased and many people would still be alive. The loss of lives is a travesty due to ignorance, selfishness, and many other negatives from prejudiced persons. In chapter 24 of the book of the prophet Jeremiah, he says, there was rebellion and sin in Israel and Judah. In 597 BC, God showed Jeremiah 2 visions. He goes on to say that there was a vision of a fig tree that had good fruit. The second fig tree had rotten fruit. God was going to bless the fig tree with good fruit. He was helping them because they were inclined to repentance and doing good. They still had a way to go to be considered as true worshipers. God loves them, he says. He made a way for them when in Babylon, and then he made a way for them to go to considered as true worshipers. He also made a way for them to return as a remnant through the proclamation of Cyrus, C-Y-R-U-S, and Persia after 70 years. So he goes on to say that my thoughts and beliefs are looking at 2020 being analogous or parallel to the 597 BC and following years in Judah and Israel. The United States and the world are in a situation like the three with the rotten figs, as just outlined. He said it's scary. We do our own thing. Sunday morning worship has been replaced by playing golf, soccer, fishing, and relaxing on our boats, just staying home, or many other things. We pull ourselves up by our own bootstraps. It is mine! Exclamation mark. I highly support the recommendation to wear masks over the nose and mouth, social distancing 6 feet apart, washing hands for 20 seconds after touching objects that may have germs, and stay at home except for medical offices, grocery store, work, post office, and emergency situations. But he goes on to say, it says, worship in person in church should be prevented because of the ease of spreading the virus among parishioners. Use of technology such as Facebook, Zoom, Cisco, WebEx, and other IT elements helps with the worship activities. So follow recommendations of infectious disease specialists, medical researchers, and science about the time to return the person to worship. I'll say that again. Follow recommendations of infectious disease specialists, medical researchers, and science about the time to return to person worship. Daily prayer will always help, he says. Being obedient to the leading of the Holy Spirit. COVID-19 is calling for all of us to be in prayer daily and examples of humility. We must be watchmen for our brothers and sisters to know and to serve God, who is the creator and sustainer of all of us. God is in charge. This was by Dr. Kobe Stanley. He's also the pastor at Mount Calvary, #1 Church, on 905. If I'm wrong about that description, then somebody can please just send me a comment, okay? And we can certainly correct that, okay? I got a comment from Brother Orton, our Councilman Orton Bellamy, who said that this is reverting back to our graduating classes, and I failed to read that off. But Orton Bellamy said that his cousin, Miss Iva M. Gore Ward. She's a Whittemore graduate, 100 years old, and she will verify her class. Well, you get to it, Councilman Bellamy, and we'll definitely do some research into it. Okay. So look, today's been a good day. We had some glitches, but we got you information that we would have along the line conveyed to you at another time, but we got it to you anyway today. So, and I hope you enjoyed the little summary that he gave you of the magazine and what was in the November issue. There are other things in an issue. Again, the front page is salute to Dr. Winston McIver Jr. Okay, now his article, he gave us the cost of COVID-19. Okay, the cost of COVID-19. He goes on to spell out the many things that he is run into. See the effect of cost of the hospitalization on hospital costs, the effects of canceled services. All that's considered cost. It's hospital revenue, extra costs associated with buying PPE equipment for employees' safety. Now that had to increase to millions because of the virus. Additional costs incurred by hospitals to give extra support to their workers. So in his article, we had to highlight the mighty Waccamaw primary care staff. I wish we had the opportunity to put it up on our website, but you can see it lays out some fantastic staff there. It's the Waccamaw primary staff, and kudos to those over there. They're doing a great job. I've always had good service, and I'm still alive. So again, we didn't get to we talked about a will, and we didn't get to the other part about heirs property, but I'd like to and then we're gonna call it a day, okay? But I'd like to just give you a little overview of a brief overview of a realtor, Miss Joyce Williams. This is her second time talking about heirs property. It's because she deemed it so important, and the things that her experience has taught her that she's had to come back and just want to propagate that kind of information again for all of us. We really need to know about heirs property. We're losing a lot of property right here in Conway just because the rightful heirs or the number of heirs have not been resolved, and the issues around them have not been resolved. So I think somebody else, there's a third party that will step in, and that that's the city or county if the property doesn't get well managed. Okay, but she says let's talk about heirs property. Okay, this is Miss Joyce Williams. Okay, Miss Joyce Williams there, and she's a realtor at Wyper Realtors, and she said let's talk about heirs property. What is heirs property? She says research shows that heirs property is referred to as land that has been passed down formally from generation to generation. In most cases, it involved landowners who died without a will. I just talked about the will, right? Died without a will. Okay. Said heirs property causes of black internal land loss. According to the Census Bureau, 80% of land owned by blacks have been lost since 1910 due to this heirs property situation. Then she goes on to talk about her experience, a reason why she wanted she thought it was important to get this information out. She said her personal experience said a great uncle, quote, I'm quoting, a great uncle of mine whose wife preceded him in death and had no children, considered by grandmother and her children as his family. My grandmother, acting as a surrogate daughter, saw that he was well taken care of, especially when he became ill. Before he passed away, he verbally gave my grandmother 23 acres of land. She, in turn, left this land to her heirs. My aunts and uncles realized they did not have the interest of finances to develop this property, so they decided to sell it. However, they couldn't because they did not have a clear title or deed so they could secure an attorney. The attorney had to research and prepare an original deed before it could be deeded to them. This entire process took over 2 years. The land was then advertised through the courts and was sold within 90 days. The proceeds from the sale were distributed equally to their heirs. This solution seemed to be viable. I mean, well within reach. But there's some situations where solutions are taking longer time than that. So she goes on to say that some common problems you may encounter. One, decision regarding use of the land, such as harvesting timber or leasing for agricultural purposes, must be agreed upon by everyone who has entitled to the land. Some owners may want to sell the land, while others may want to live on it or farm it. Some will pay their share of taxes and maintenance, while others will not. It is hard to get loans, grants, and government assistance based on property ownership because there is no clear title. Lack of clear title also means that the property is less marketable for sale or lease. One owner could force a court-ordered sale of the entire property so that all the descendants can cash out, quote unquote. Some owners are unable to receive a home loan to complete badly needed home repairs. So there you have it. So let me give you her phone number. You can reach her at 843. That's her office. 843-280-4445. 843-280-4445. Her cell 843-283-3891. 843-283-3891. So look, we certainly enjoy dispensing this kind of information out to you. We wish you can do it all the time, and we will. We're supposed to have had guests today. However, this turned out, as you can see, this information was more valuable. I mean, it must be valuable than a lot. So we do regret not having our guests on. They had some information for us also, but they'll be coming back. Okay, let's just save it for another time. All right. So I'm Ed McQueen. I'm your co-host. I tell you, she's on a well-deserved hiatus. Okay, she's a hard-working lady. Talking about my co-host April Garner. She has a lot of irons in the fire, you know, and everybody has jobs, regular jobs. And when you're good at what you do, people call on you a lot. Okay, even your regular job. Okay, because they see something valuable and they want this. They know that you're good at it. So I guess that makes her in the unenviable position of being wanted all the time. So she's still live with us and still the co-host, and she promises that she will be back with us the 30th of this month. I believe that's next Monday. So I'm just thankful that she had hopefully she's having a very good rest. I still have to call her from time to time. She understands that. So, and I know she's listening. So, until next week, dear people, thank you for tuning in today. I certainly had a lot out of it, and hopefully you did too. And we'll see you next week at 7 p.m. right here on Facebook Live and YouTube. Okay, and the Whittemore Community Magazine website at wcmagazine.net. So on behalf of my co-host, April Garner, I would like to wish you well and Godspeed. And we'll see you are we going to see you next week? Yes, we will see you next week.
Thank you for watching the Whittemore Community Magazine live on Facebook. You can watch a rebroadcast of this episode by visiting WCM Live on YouTube.